What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another week. Another week of fun and trying to decipher liberal logic. In this video, we're going to be reacting to topics like women,
slavery,
those LGBTQs, and of course, a little bit of religion sprinkled in. So just sit back, relax, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yesterday, Donald Trump called for the prosecution of Kamala Harris. A week ago, he called for the prosecution of Obama. In January, he called for the prosecution of Biden. In his first term, he called for the prosecution of Hillary Clinton. Fascists call for the baseless prosecution of their political opponents.
In December 2022, the Biden-Harris administration called for the prosecution of Donald Trump. Did you forget about that? Dean is a hypocritical clown. This is something you agree with, you're probably retarded. You want to know who invented YouTube and that subscribe button? Not just one man, but three of them. So be a gentleman and like and subscribe. That was a lot of men. A lot of men.
Ayo, this is why people say defund the police. The police are extremely necessary, especially when there's a crime that involves harm. The problem is when the police is used for everything. For calls about mental health problems, homelessness, and petty crime. Stuff that doesn't involve hardened criminals.
Let me show you the real reason why people want to defund the police. Here are our wonderful police that we pay for with our taxpayer dollars. And here is a group of people that make up 13% of the population, but somehow commit 26% of all violent crime. Weird, because they also account for 51% of all adult arrests for murder. Now, the disconnect with defunding the police is that there's a group of people who think that jailing these criminals is somehow racist. Do you know who those group of people are? Is he saying that gangs are to black people as frats are to white people? I think the difference here is that if a frat sees a rival frat on the street corner, they're not going to shoot him up. And all the guys of the frat have fathers.
It's fresh because it just happened. But my wife and I just went to the grocery store right by our house, just to buy like junk food and stuff, you know, because we're really tired. Just wanted some sweet treats. And we were walking down an aisle, and there were like two guys that walked up next to us, and he walks by and gets like inches from me and just rips one, like farts like this far from me. That's disgusting to say. I can't even believe I'm having to say this.
I wonder why we've never had a woman president.
This is what you call true American.
No, that's a conquered America.
Whoop. Hey, you just killed a tree. What? No, I just accidentally dropped a seed on the ground, so I picked it up. Oh yeah, a seed that could have become a tree? So what's your rationale, tree murderer? I picked it up like immediately after I dropped it. Besides, I don't want a tree there. If it grows, the roots are going to ruin my house's foundation.
I see what's happening. So she's comparing a tree seed to an actual human life. How about you stop being a dirty...
And none of this dumbass shit would be happening if y'all just voted for Kamala. Who said that? I said that. It was me.
Who wants to be the one to tell Jabba the Hutt that we voted for this?
Well, that's just my opinion. That's what I believe. You are allowed to have opinions on things like sushi and interior design. I cannot look at you and tell you that my hair is blonde, and if I did, then I would be wrong because objective truth is a thing. You cannot tell me that trans people are not losing rights under this administration when they can't join sports teams and they can't join the military.
Did he just use objective truth and trans in the same sentence? The reason why we separate men and women's sports to begin with is because of objective truth. Clown.
One last personal fact. Most trans kids know that they're trans between the ages of 3 and 7. My daughter knew around 2.5. She knew. I didn't. I often tell my kids that I'm not smarter than you, I just know different things.
Not only is this a perfect example of a terrible father, but somebody needs to check this dude's hard drives.
I got a question. It might get me canceled, but explain to me like I'm 5 years old, though. Do not jump me. Why do we have to remember the Holocaust, but we don't have to remember slavery? You better give me valid reasons, too, and I'm not playing.
One of the biggest ways that humans choose to remember and commemorate history is by constructing a statue. We're trying to remember the horrors and tragedies of slavery, but how are we supposed to do that if you clowns keep destroying all the statues? Churches don't dance with apostate symbols to Lady Gaga. This isn't a church, this is a clown show.